Welcome back to Animal Lover. Last time we let Frankie talk to Zara and we learned a bit more about where she lives and about Vika. And now we have nothing to do and are talking to Edmund. So yeah, let's see.
Is this a comic book? I heard about them so many times as a hamster. I heard the word, but I've never seen a comic before. That's fascinating. Saw plenty of people watching movies, but comic books were just never around.
Well, how is it, your first comic book?
It's alright, I suppose. It's weird. This man just made out with a demon and then burst into flames. It's unsettling. I guess it's alright though.
Sounds weird. Is it scary?
Not particularly, a little disturbing. I think the writer's got some issues. But again, it's alright.
Okay then, what are you planning on getting into now?
I don't know. I used to read a lot of books as a prince. If there was a lull in the day, there were books. Otherwise, you had to depend on the schedule. Mornings were exercises, evenings were gatherings, meals would only happen at specific moments in the day. Free time was dedicated to books. Right now, I have nothing but free time. And I have more ways than ever to spend that time. Here I am once again with books. It's kind of like I'd never left. It's the first time in years that I feel like the person I was before this mess started.
Who were you before all of this? More than just a prince.
What do you mean?
Like, if you feel like someone different when you read, who do you feel like?
Oh, I don't know. A prince, I guess. Someone with a busy schedule. A lot of place to go and see. Much more mindful of his manners.
You're decently mindful of your manners?
Yeah, but eating hamster pellets for decades without anyone to not tell you to chew with your mouth open can dull you to the needs of knowledge regarding salad forks.
Did you have to lift your pinky to drink?
Yeah, actually. No one does that here, do they?
Not in America, really, no.
I never thought I'd say this, but it's kind of a relief.
You seem like you're doing okay then.
I am.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Wait, did you mean in regards to this morning's, let's call it unpleasantness?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing alright. In fact, everyone here seems to be doing remarkably well.
I noticed that too. That seems odd. Why do you think things are so calm right now?
It's a simple answer, really.
Really?
Yeah, really. Everyone's minding their manners.
Their manners? I thought you just said you were relieved to not have a menace.
Absolutely not. No way. The manners gave me something to think about for decades. I watched them slip away. Watched as their more esoteric meanings begin to fade. I'm not sure Americans know the difference between a salad fork and, well, any other fork, really. I'm positive Kyle doesn't know. I don't think I could pay Charlie to care enough. Miguel, maybe.
Frankie?
I don't know, maybe. The point is, though manners are, as I knew them, are dead. But there's no undignified when dignified means isolation. My brother used to tell me that being better than someone is not noble, it's foolish. I didn't get what he meant at the time. The way I saw it, people who minded their manners wore nice clothes, cleaned themselves up, they were better, more respectable people. But manners back then were just a strict set of rules for a young royal to follow, and if you follow them correctly, then you were worthy of your birthright. I have had never considered the application of manners. The manners that have remained, that still exist, are guidelines that have make the people around you comfortable and happier. Like who the hell cares what fork you eat your salad with, right? But chewing with your mouth open means people don't have to look at the crow's mouth closed. Gross food that you're chewing on. That's what I think everyone's doing right now. Everyone's minding their manners, even if it's not a written rule or societal thing. They still are. I think Charlie's still a little unsettled, so I wouldn't pester him too much. But he's quieted down a lot, because he's acting with everyone else's best interest in mind.
So, manners fit society, not the other way around, then? I'd say this group is still pretty rude. I mean, look at Kyle. That makes sense. You'd even say, then, that Kyle is minding his manners even when talking back to Frankie and Charlie?
I would. His manners are a strange set of rules, unique to Kyle and unknown to everyone else, with even a semblance of civility. But they are a set of rules, and he knows when to follow them. Yes, in his own twisted little way, Kyle's being very polite right now.
I think I see what you mean.
It's an interesting little setup we've got here. Even if our little society is an European high society, our rules are being abided by. Rule number 1, don't poke the bear. The metaphorical sleeping bear, of course, not Charlie. Though don't poke him either. That'd be rude.
Is there a rule about poking hamsters?
Not particularly. We didn't go over that in etiquette class. Huh. We mostly went over posture and speech patterns, come to think of it.
That's funny. Wait, did you actually have etiquette class?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My tutor would hit me with a stick if my posture wasn't perfect.
Oh my, that's horrible.
Nah, it's alright. I've clearly lost most of what I've learned anyway.
Our eyes catch each other for a moment. As our eyes meet, his smile widens just a little. Like, what else have you lost? I mean, from the class, of course.
Oh, this and that. I'm not as big a pain about personal space as I used to be.
His hand is touching mine for a moment. My heart begins to beat fast, and I'm worried that I might be blushing. I suppose you're not. Not that it matters much. I'm not that big a stickler for personal space either. His fingers begin to curl around mine.
I'm glad to hear it. I often worry that I'm being too forward.
Not at all. Sound and color fade back into the room as I realize that I'm still surrounded by a number of guys. I can hear Charlie behind me ranting about something to Miguel on the computer. Seeing that I've snapped out of the moment, little Edmund brings his hand back to his side.
But you know, manners, of course.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see how everyone else is doing.
Sure, I'm going to go back to reading.
Alright then.
Let me know if you need anything.
Will do. I lift myself off the couch and begin to survey the area. Frankie. As I turn towards Frankie, he's resting on his back, his eyes closed, facing the ceiling, his former cat's cradle resting next to him. Lying on the floor, he looks peaceful for the first time today. I decide to go sit on the couch next to his lying spot. You awake there, Frankie? Hey, Kasia. He says, not opening his eyes. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing alright. He says, sitting up. Are cat cradles still a thing in the 21st century? I'm not sure if the kids on the playground still do them, but I know that what they are, so I guess it's still a thing. Huh. Well, I think they're neat. I do too. Why? Huh? Why? Yeah. What do you mean why? Miguel's playing with a machine that can make movies appear out of the thin air. Like if I listen to how Charlie's been explained it, then computer has some sort of weird mechanical invisible arm that literally taken movies from thin air. I guess kind of, yeah. It's basically that if you also conceptualize the hand politely asking for the movie from thin air. My point stands then. Why would you find a cat's cradle neat? Why do you? I don't know, simpler time, I guess. Watching and feeling these little patterns come to life in my hand is cool. But you've seen the magic computer over there. That didn't spoil your enjoyment of my cat's cradle. No. Well, same here. Huh. I guess I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess the question is why didn't it spoil my enjoyment? We sort of attribute a lot of things to technology in the 21st century. Often we do that without understanding exactly what's going on, which makes it sort of like magic. I am sorry. But it's not magic in that we know if we explore it enough. We will eventually understand how it works and what makes it work the way it does. That's fascinating. I felt the same way about cars, but then I didn't want to anymore. It kept bothering me. I wanted to know what made the large tank-looking thing go. So then I found out. Now I'm back at the beginning, once again, not understanding how anything works. It's okay, I'm still lost on a few things too. Huh. He begins to mutter to himself as he continues playing with the cat's cradle. You know, you're very feline right now. How do you figure? You're on your back on the floor playing with the strings. Oh. Oops. Oops. Why oops? I guess I should try training myself off of being a cat. Unless you're comfortable with it. That's an entirely separate can of worms right now. Can we worry about my cat habits once we know I'm not going to turn back into a cat? Sure, I can get behind that. Cool. So I've been asking around, why do you think it is that everything seems okay so suddenly? What do you mean? I mean, look around. After you know what happened at the coffee shop today, you'd think everyone else would be, a bit more tense? I don't think so. You don't? No. I mean, I guess I can kind of see why someone else would see it as being weird, but it seems perfectly natural to me. I'm saying this knowing how badly I screwed up, and I'm still sorry. I'm feeling pretty awful about that whole mess, but everyone's forgiven each other. To dwell on it would mean that the apologies and the reparations would meant nothing. Like I trust that Charlie and I are okay now. Maybe not on the best footing, but otherwise we would have tried to patch things up. We did try though. Why would we begin to try if we weren't serious about it? So that's it then. Say sorry and everything's okay. I couldn't imagine it going any other way. Look, at least in my time, especially in high school, guys who weren't bullies would usually get over the gripes with each other pretty quickly. I'd always heard the rumor that women had grudges harder, but I never had any women friends. I briefly dated Barbara White in junior high, but shut up, phone. We had some fun, but we weren't friends. I wonder if Barbara White's still alive. Anyway, at the moment the more I live in the 21st century, the more I realize men and women aren't so different. And part of me is always wondering how much of that I learned is true from back in the day. Back in the day, I can't believe I just said that again. The only confirmation of that grudge rumor I ever had was when I was dating Barbara Wright. She was having a spat with a girl from the cheerleading squad. God, what was her name? Lee, not Linda, Patricia. Patty McLean. Barbara was talking about this rumor that was going around that she was a bimbo. I was dating her at the time and I knew this to be true, of course. Untrue, of course. Sure. Patty McLean had spread the rumor knowing it was bunk, right? I knew it was bunk. Barbara knew it was bunk. Even my friends knew it was bunk, and that Patty was just being a bitch because she tended to be. She tripped my pal Roy in the lunchroom once. God, she was horrible. But I didn't pay it any mind. Not only was it untrue, it was obviously untrue. The rumor didn't even spread that far. Because I was, and still kinda am, a big scary guy, but who didn't want to hear untrue rumors about his best guy? Oh my god. What? Best girl. Yeah, so what? No, it's a very outdated term. It's funny to hear. Well, it didn't bother anyone like it bothered Barbara. She stood on it for weeks. I told her to relax. I took her to the soda shop, got her a milkshake. Don't you mean soda jerk? Yeah. I already said soda jerk to Charlie a while back. I'm aware, don't worry. Okay, go on. But you wouldn't let it go. I didn't even remember when she did let it go. In fact, I don't think she ever did. She would just give Patty skunk eyes every time they passed, and then got really rustled when I had to team up with her and her lap partner. I can't even recall how that concluded. And I thought, wow, that's horrible. That's a horrible way to live. To not even live in the moment at all. To live so far outside the moment that things from a month ago can get your caught in the present. So I thought I didn't want that. I asked Barbara to just go talk to her, but she never would. And then the story just peters out. We broke up, and then I didn't deal with her anymore. Why did you two break up? I wasn't interested in her. She wasn't interested in learning about my hobbies, and I spent too many weekends working on cars and not, going with her to the pictures. Sometimes it's really easy to forget that Frankie's from the 50s. Not right now, of course, but sometimes. She got frustrated with me, so I tried things her way, and we'd go out every weekend and hang out after school. It left me no time for neat car stuff, so I chose cars over her. But that's besides the point. Point is that there's no reason to get hung up on things that aren't affecting you right now. I'm not exactly over what happened at the coffee shop. In fact, I'm still pretty bothered about the whole thing. But thinking about it right now wouldn't be pleasant for anyone else. I did it again. That's what midnight strolls are for, or bathroom breaks. Right now it's hot. I am on the floor, and this piece of string is the most fascinating thing to me. Unless I genuinely want to think about what happened today, then I would. But if I don't, then I'm distracting myself for the moment. And the moment is what happened. It's what's happening right now. The time spent stressing on unnecessary is wasted. Wouldn't you rather deal with stress now, not later? I'm not sure I see the logic in that. It's not really a logic thing. I'm bothered by things when and if I'm bothered by them in the moment. Well, yeah, but it sounds like you're cherry-picking moments to be upset about things and to not be upset about them. As if this isn't the time to feel bad about something, but so you'll wait until it is time to feel bad about something, I guess. Maybe I'm just a little silly in that sense, but I never considered it an act of logic, just a moment of reason. So who would it benefit to be sad or frustrated right now? You? Well, yeah, but that can wait. Okay, sure. I think I'm going to take a nap. A catnap? Sure, a catnap. Alright then. Wanna join me? That actually sounds great. You seem like you'd be a great napping partner. I'm cozier than I look. You should come over here. I'm going to see how everyone else is doing first. Alright then, Kaja. I'll be here. Invitation's open. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, and Kaja? Yeah, Frankie. I'm sorry again. The way I acted was childish and immature. It's okay, I understand. This must be really weird for you, the way the world's changed. Just have a little more faith in me, okay? Alright, I promise I will. And not just because I said so, because I'm a human being. Absolutely. Thanks. Frankie lies back down, slowly closing his eyes. His hands flop to his sides, dropping the strings to the floor. Anyway. Alright, I'll see who to meet up with next, and we'll see each other in the next part. I hope you had fun. Bye.